like this. I can lean back on this.
Right. Kind of relax a little bit.
We live?
We're live.
What's up?
What's up? Welcome to episode 9 of What's Up with Nitro Dave and John.
And John.
And John.
About to get me Employee of the Month.
Oh, Employee of the Month. You got to strut it a little bit, huh? All right. Well, so for this episode, we have a special guest.
Yep.
Nathan Wheeler.
Nathan.
And Josh
is here too.
Yep. And
they bring the truck.
The owner of Crazyhorse. And they just won
all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive that Cletus did.
Yeah.
Last Thursday.
That was a big deal. It broke the internet.
It broke the internet.
It
Lots
really
of
did.
views.
And of course Nathan's late, so he's gonna be like coming in last minute here in a minute.
Yeah.
He's on Nathan.
I think he's related to you.
Maybe so. Hey, but we started at 11 today.
Yeah.
We did pretty good.
11-ish.
Yeah. So
we had to rename the live 11-ish.
11-ish. I like that. There you go.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Clash of the Titans.
450-ish.
Ish.
11-ish.
Everything's ish. Right. So, so we had some bad weather this weekend.
Yeah.
So a lot of events got canceled.
Yep.
But there were some events that actually had some good weather.
Yeah.
And so Dan Van Horn hosted the Modern Street Hemi Shootout at Rockingham.
Yeah, his track is home.
The Rock. Yard, I love the name of that. The Rock. So it just sounds like hardcore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So
don't mess with him.
Yeah. And speaking of Dan, it looks like he kind of cleaned up on his own event.
He's getting a little faster.
Yeah.
He still can't beat Josh, but he's getting there.
So he didn't beat Josh.
No, Josh would have been the king of the street.
You know why?
Yeah, I know exactly
Josh
why.
is boosting juice.
Yeah.
And Nathan, Dan should know better.
Yeah, he should.
As much time as I've spent with Dan and Nitrous.
Yeah.
I don't know why he's slacking over there.
Yeah, we got to step up his
I know he's got your phone number and mine.
Yeah. And our Facebook.
Yeah, he's just being shy.
And my Snapchat. He's all in my DMs.
He's slacking, huh? Yeah. He's slacking. So, but that's why Joshua kicked his teeth in. Yeah. So you could come back from that, Dan. There's a way to fix that.
Yeah.
It's called 254-848-4300.
Extension 115.
There you go. Or you could just text.
Yeah.
Right.
No days.
So anyway, the Rock, Modern Street Hemi Shootout. Dan won King of the Street.
Yep.
So he did win something.
Yeah.
He did.
Josh wasn't in it.
Yeah, but then he runnered up an outlaw.
Because Josh beat him.
Because Josh Swartz kicked his teeth in.
Yes. Yep.
So he's got that.
Yeah.
He's got that
little boosting juice.
He's got that atmospheric nozzle.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Zidong Ho, which is another one of our good dealers.
Yeah.
He made it to the semifinals in Outlaw.
Yeah.
So that was 3 up top right there. And then James Berthorn Jr. Took runner-up in 10-0 index.
That's one of my partners from back home.
Oh, yeah?
He actually got me into Nitrous back when I started racing with Nitrous because he helped me put a pumping station up. Or fill station. He told me how to gravity feed fill bottles. So I learned a lot from him.
Yeah. Who would have known, huh?
Yeah, one of my partners back home.
And who would have known that one of your partners would have set you in the path of working at Nitrous Outlet?
He got me addicted. Dope head now.
Oh man. And so then also the Texas Truck Throwdown was at Evandale Raceway. And is that Corey's race?
It was.
Okay. So Spike Sanchez won. What did he win?
He won. He runs Spike Performance.
Yeah.
And he had one of my gift cards in the cash payout. And then runner up was Dustin Sterling. We had just did the Duramax intake for him.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
He was at the Cletus shootout as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. So it was also Streetcar Takeover in Atlanta.
Yeah.
So it was at Atlanta Motor Speedway, which is the NASCAR track. And I've always wanted to go to this event because the nighttime meet is at Vengeance Racing.
Yeah.
And anybody that knows my history with Ron and Mike over at Vengeance, and now they have my mind just went blank. I'll think of it in a minute. Another buddy of mine went to work there, and he's doing their engine program. That's one of those companies that kind of started earlier on whenever Nitrous Outlet started, and we all kind of grew together. So, so I have a love for those guys. But anyways, so they hosted the nighttime meet, which was a dyno day and a hangout. And I was looking at pictures, man. There was a lot of cool, nice street cars there. So so definitely missed out on that. And I've been seeing that happen every year, and I'm like, I'm gonna go. Yeah. So you guys, if you didn't make it there, you missed out. But the following day, so I was looking at pictures because I was trying to find who won what. I never really found who won what. So I can't tell you who won what.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that the Burnout Wars bots, dude, like there was this one car in there, it's like a Corvette, and it looked like something you would see from Transformers, bunch of sheet metal stuff going on. And then I seen a truck doing a burnout with pink smoke, so that must be in the tires.
Yeah.
There was a crowd that definitely generated a crowd of spectators. And so
we had to go to that.
Yeah, it was a pretty nice setup too. Like and I'm not familiar with the Burnout Wars, but they had one of those
shipping containers.
Cargo, yeah. You must have seen the pictures too.
Yeah.
All right, the shipping container, and it said Burnout Wars, and it popped, and then it was nice concrete. They had a nice setup.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I liked that.
Yeah.
Like I was checking it out, and then of course they had the competition, the racing there at the NASCAR track. So that's kind of like our LS Fest here in Texas.
Yeah.
I like that atmosphere. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So streetcar takeover happened, but Texas was brutal for us this weekend.
Yeah, it rained a lot.
Yeah, and so Ronnie Barnes was hosting the King of the Gut at the motorcycle drags at the Gut, Yellow Belly, and it got rained out. And I know he's rescheduling, ain't he?
Yeah, he did.
So what did he reschedule for? Next month?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna throw you out there. Do you know what date?
I believe the 10th.
10th. All right. So cool. So we'll be talking more.
If it's not the 10th, it is now.
So now what he did was he was able to put it back for us to talk about it every episode until
promote it more.
Absolutely.
Smart man.
Yeah, and then Randy Kelly, he was hosting Sunday service at SRP, and it got rained out.
But it's this Sunday now.
So he rescheduled for this Sunday.
Yeah, this Sunday. So if you have a car that's over 2,800 pounds, you can race it, and you can win. I think it's like 4,000 or 5,000 cash and plus a 15 bomb bottle.
Yeah, and I seen some guys registering for that, and there's some hard hitters.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
so that's gonna be a good race.
Yeah, very good.
So I love the name of it, Sunday service, and it's on Sunday.
Yeah, it's perfect.
That's pretty good. He needs to walk around in like a priest outfit.
Yeah. Order one on Amazon.
Yeah, and carry a little altar boy with him.
Yeah.
No, sorry, never mind. So, Justin Harvey's event also got rained out, and that was the first of his series.
Yeah.
The West Texas Streetcar Association. Now, is he gonna reschedule that one, or is he just gonna go ahead and move to the next one?
It's gonna be pushed. That one's rescheduled for another date, but it's still gonna be the same amount of. There's still gonna be the same amount of races for the series.
Yeah. I hear
just pushed back. Yeah, you know who that is?
It's a tractor.
I don't know. It sounds like a Crazyhorse out there.
Sorry, didn't mean to cut you off there. I bet they're fixing to pull in here and make all kinds of noise. So let's jump over to upcoming events.
Oh yeah.
Upcoming events. So this weekend, right? Mm-hmm. This weekend is Hitman No Time, and that's at Montgomery International Dragway, and that's Michael Hill's race.
Yeah.
So I like him.
And you also have H-Town Hitters at Houston Motorsports Park.
Who?
H-Town Hitters.
Oh yeah.
At Houston Motorsports Park with the 490 series. As well.
Yeah. That's not on my cheat sheet.
Yeah. Well, that's because you don't let me type it for you.
Yeah. So I missed that one. H-Town Hitters, and it's 490 race.
Yep.
And it's at Houston Raceway Park.
Yep. Motorsports Park.
Okay. Houston Motorsports Park. Yeah, I didn't know about that one. So I like the 490 stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's competitive.
Yeah. One of our guys, Charlie, he usually goes race that. He does
Strickland?
Good. Yeah.
Yep. And so do the Crux.
Yeah.
Normally. Yep. So absolutely, they always do pretty good.
Oh yeah,
they represent us well.
they
too.
love that. They love that H-Town hitters.
Yes. Woodstock, Edgewater Motorsports Park. That's John Sears.
Yeah.
That's not this weekend, but next weekend. That's the 24th to the 27th.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Camp Wars 2.
Yeah.
Paris Drag Strip. And that's Matthew Harding's race.
Yep.
And what was that? Paris, Texas, obviously.
Yep.
Yeah. So and that's the 25th and 26th.
Yeah.
And then I'm excited to see this one go down. Radial Bear Slayer. That's Twin City Raceway.
Yep.
And that's Monroe, Louisiana.
Yep.
And that's Rustin Ledbeather's race. And there's some hard hitters set up for that one too.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be good.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to make it because we'll be at Clash of the Titans in Florida. But if I wasn't there, I'd be there.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
And then Streetcar Takeover, Gainesville Raceway, Gainesville, Florida.
Yep.
And that's where we're going to have our very first of the series, Clash of the Titans, 450-ish.
450-ish.
And that will be the first of our point series.
Yeah.
So
kick it off good.
Yes. If you haven't registered for this class, it is pre-entry only. So you have to let me know ahead of time if you're going to come race with us.
Yeah.
Right? So I have now created a Facebook page, which I'd already done, which I was dropping the Clash of the Titans stuff on. And it's Nitro Dave's Clash of the Titans, right? But this week I created a Facebook group.
Good.
All right.
That way people could discuss and then call each other out.
Come in there and talk about it. We can talk about the races. I uploaded yesterday. I uploaded in one post, and it's pinned at the top. It has the whole series, how it works, the rules.
Payouts.
It's got the payout, how the point systems work, and it has the race schedule.
Yeah.
So I think I've covered everything.
Yeah.
But if I haven't, go into that Facebook group and
it'll be there.
Comment
for you.
and I'll put that info in there. So if you're interested in racing this series or you want to know more about this series, go to Nitro Dave's Clash of the Titans, right? And go to the group because that's going to be the place where you can actually make a post and do what you want to do.
Or you can talk some ish.
Yeah, you can talk some ish. So, schedule for that. Let's blow through this real quick. Obviously, Gainesville, Florida this weekend. The second race for Clash of the Titans will be May the 30th, 31st, which is streetcar takeover in Dallas. And that one, I'm like 5 away from having a full car field already, and I haven't even tried to push that one.
Yeah.
And then Z-Match Dragway. I'm excited about that one because I've never been to that drag strip. That's like the 4-lane, I've never been there, so that's going to be cool. That's going to be in Charlotte, North Carolina at Z-Match Dragway Streetcar Takeover, right? So we get a lot with Streetcar Takeover this year. And then right after that, this is going to be insane. Bodie's Grudge Bowl, $100,000 payout. He's got a nitrous only class for 484. No, it's not 484. Yeah, it is. It's anything under 699 cubic inches.
Yeah.
That's going to be fast.
Oh, yeah.
And then, of course, we're having Clash of the Titans there. And that is going to be July 11th and 12th.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following weekend is going to be Justin Covas's race.
Yeah.
At Little River.
Yep, Little River.
And what's it called again?
Uncle Sam's No Prep.
Uncle Sam's No Prep.
Yep.
So his last one he put together, that place was packed.
Yeah, it did good.
And I think it took him by surprise.
Especially for the time of year it was as well.
It was January.
Yeah.
Like
it was still winter.
Yeah, but we had perfect weather.
Yeah.
And the place was packed and I was like, I didn't expect to see that many racers, not because of the event, but because of the time. And so, I was really surprised. And then I don't know how I jumped into that. I jumped down.
No, it's all right.
All right. So anyways, I lost track there. But, hey, we did miss covering his race up here, so at least we did that. All right. So back to the Clash of the Titans. After Bodie's Grudge Bowl is Hood to Hood back at Texas Motorplex. And it's going to be September 18th through the 20th. Hood to Hood already has
Yeah.
45. I have 45 cars signed
Yeah.
up for this class already.
Now, you know, our racer, Robert Horton, he's talking about coming to that too.
Dude, I meant to message him the other day because his car would be perfect for
he
this
texted
series.
me last night.
Good.
That's
Work that.
he would like
I mean, the payout on that race is $21,000 worth of money and prizes.
Yeah.
All of our other ones, the payout for this whole series is good because I'm not taking anything out of it. It's $10,000 for each one. You know, so and then this one's $21,000. That's a lot of payout. Then we're going to do our year-end final, right? Which is going to be our championship party. It's going to be at Streetcar Takeover, Flying H Drag Strip in Odessa, Missouri, October 24th and 25th.
I heard that's a really good event to be as well.
Dude, and that's a Flying H Drag Strip. I keep hearing that's an awesome drag strip too. I've never been there, so I'm looking forward to that. And that race right there in our point series will be worth double the points. So what's kind of cool about that is leading up to this, as we're tracking points.
Yeah.
That last race
will make
could put somebody
difference.
ahead of the win. Like it literally could flip the results.
Yeah.
So, and what's going to be cool about that is if we go into a tie in the points going into that race, the first thing we will do is look and see who had the most wins, and then we'll give them one extra point to make them ahead of the other one. But if they were a tie, we're going to try to do a race off.
Sudden death.
Yes. Love it. Sudden death. Yes. So it'll be a race off. That'll be pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about the whole points thing. I've actually had a lot of people tell me I'm making all the races.
Yeah.
And they're shooting for the points.
Good.
And
that's going to add a lot too.
Yes. That's cool. I'm a little stressed.
Are you doing extra points even if you just show up to the
race?
race?
It's 10 points for showing up. That way, if you break in qualifying, and going to, at least you get some points to go towards the next race. And all that's broke down in our Facebook group.
Good.
I am a little stressed about Atlanta. The Florida guys, I'm not getting all these other tracks are filling up. I'm just not getting the response from the Florida guys.
Yeah.
And Justin Chase said, don't worry about it. Let's get past Atlanta. The Florida guys, they're like that. They're going to start. And I'm like, okay. So I want to say for the 32 car field that we need for Florida, we only have like 4 or 5 racers registered for that. So I'm a little stressed over that.
Yeah.
I need Florida support over there. Or I need some more of our racers to travel over there. But some of our guys aren't ready yet. This race hit too soon.
Yeah.
And I really didn't give much of a notice. I was just like, oh, let's do this. So so that lack of notice might be hurting us a little bit, but so we need your help pulling off Gainesville. So we need. I don't know why I keep looking at that one.
Yeah, it's all right. It's still in the general direction.
Yeah. So I need Gainesville's help. I need my Florida guys' help. So I'll tell you what. Before we jump over into bringing Nathan and Josh on, let me cover the specials we have going right now. I'm going to jump around a little bit. Current specials at Nitro Dave's, Nitrous Outlet, Flow Supply, Methods, A60 Performance, right? Whole product line.
The whole website.
We're currently doing free shipping over $250.
Yep.
So if you place an order and it's over $250, you get free shipping.
Yeah, but there's still exclusions that apply to it.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
Like what?
So you can't buy the big stacked 860 12 bottle holders
stuff that costs really crazy to ship it. But you could buy Nitrous system, which normally costs $25, $30 to ship.
Yeah.
And you can buy all the accessories, which is normally another $10 or $15, $20 because it's another box.
Yeah.
So right there, you could easily save another $50, $75 bucks.
Yeah, yeah.
On just that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's pretty good. And then we got 10% off all plumbing hardware. And plumbing hardware is like nitrous reels, distribution blocks, hard lines. What else is
it? Nuts and stuff.
Nuts and stuff. Yeah, nuts and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. And 10% off purge kits.
Yep.
Right. So you could get the big shot.
Yeah. Speaking of purge kit, I think we're going to put something really cool in Crazyhorse.
Oh yeah. You don't have a purge kit already?
No. We're going to set them up good.
Okay.
I will set them up.
He needs one of those new purge lights that DH has been working on. Changes like 20.
Yeah. He's probably going to be the first one with one.
It's designed so like whenever you stage the truck. Mm-hmm. The LEDs are so bright, it's going to blind the competition to where they can't see the Christmas tree. Just like aim it over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So seriously, like whenever he does the test, lights. You can't even look down at the table. It's so bright. So, all right, let's
You got one ready? Yeah, let's see one.
Come on.
Let's see one, man. Let's give an exclusion. A live special.
Light. And then we'll bring Nathan.
I'll put him
in.
on the spot.
I know. I'm wondering how he's going to transport the voltage box.
We could bring the camera.
Oh no, his work area is way too messy to show. Just walking by it gives me anxiety, and I don't even know what anxiety was, so I walked by his work area. I made a lifetime enemy just now. Hey, we're on a pretty good time today.
Yeah.
We knocked all that out in 23 minutes.
Good. We spent a lot of time talking to Nathan and
we're going to go over the truck and
look
at it. I'm a little bummed we're not doing a tech tip today.
Yeah, it's all right because the truck should have a lot of tech tips on it.
Does it?
I mean, we could find something to do it. We'll wing it.
The tech tip, the main tech tip is small tire cannot whoop all drive.
Yeah.
On a dry burnout.
Yeah.
That was the tech tip he just gave everybody, right? Oh, what do we got?
Oh, man.
We're out of seconds here. We're out of seconds. So, we got any comments? Yo, what's the fastest all drive?
Nathan.
You know, I don't know what the fastest is, but I can tell you Nathan just won one of the biggest races of the first of this year. So, he's definitely got bragging rights.
He's doing it where it counts.
Yeah. What the fastest is, I don't know. Anybody know? Anybody know the answer to that? What is the fastest all-wheel drive? And that's just fastest all-wheel drive. It could be anything.
Yeah, it could be like probably a GTR.
Yeah, I mean
things are usually fast, or one of the Lambos from Texas 2K.
Yeah. Are Lambos all-wheel drive?
Some of them are.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought they're all rear-wheel drive. Let's see here. Here he comes.
We probably should give you a heads up on this.
No, that's how we roll around here last minute.
The nitrous outlet way.
I'm wondering what he's going to plug it into.
Probably the wrong thing first, and we'll let out the nitric smoke. All right, I need to plug.
What, do you got an extension cord?
Oh, it's so tiny.
By the way, this is DH.
Hello.
One of our R&D associates, team members.
Got it dialed into 3.5 volts.
So tell us what's going on here.
So this is just me testing a couple of the diodes out and seeing if I can run them side by side and run multiple colors at once. They are, I think, 2 or 3 watts each per color. So 12 watts total per diode, I guess. And then all the previous ones were 0.3 watts. So
0.3.
we're almost 10 times brighter than we were. And then we can combine colors, and they can get rather intense if it works, which it should. Let's see here. Voltage output. Here we go. All right.
Oh man, dude.
Hold on.
I should put my sunglasses on.
You can point it right at it.
Oh, yeah.
This combo color.
Golly. Put your glasses on, Aaron.
I literally can't see to put it in the hole.
That's what she said.
You need some hair around it?
I don't know what it is. I literally can't see anymore. Literally, it's a problem. All right, for some reason it's blanking out on me, but I don't know why.
It's all right. I lost my vision already.
There's blue, white, red, green.
And I'm not looking at it anymore. So it's going to be a little bright.
How many colors is it going to have?
Well, you'll be able to combine multiple colors. So like red and yellow will make orange. And so it should be able to cycle between at least, 15 different colors, something like that. And it'll just be a push button that you cycle through. And it should remember the last setting you put it on. So if you want it red, you can just have red. Every time you hit the purge button, it'll light up the cloud red. And we can even set probably a delay timer so that it stays on to.
Lisa's going to want pink. So what would you do? Take red and
Colt said to spit on it.
Do white, and you would do red, and then you end up with, fingers crossed, everyone, pink.
Pink. Hey. Lisa's going to like that. That's going to look good on cream pie.
All right.
So you've seen it here, guys. This is how R&D really works.
A little chaotic.
You design from scratch. Other companies' R&D is, that's a great idea.
Let's
copy
copy
it. Right?
Copy and paste.
That's the difference. That's the difference of supporting our company. We invest in R&D.
Yeah.
You know.
Let's buy one and send it to China to have it recreated.
Yeah. Oh, anyways, don't get me started. All right, let's bring Nathan and Josh in
Nathan!
here.
Let's open the door for him.
All right, hey, let me have your mic there so I can put it over here.
You cut me off. I'm restricted on talking
Oh
again.
no, you're just gonna share
I
now.
stuttered too much.
Nope, you're gonna share now. Let's see here. Oh,
Oh, way to go. Hurts my ears in the headphones.
this is still no light now. Did I break it?
No.
Probably so.
Y'all ready to see Crazyhorse?
No.
All right, you're making everybody dizzy. All right, let's see here. Let's pull that tractor in here. That's what it sounded like. It sounded like my lawnmower. Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Fire him up!
When did trucks start coming with wings? Maybe it identifies as a Honda. Hey, so is this really a truck or a Honda?
Honda.
The wing.
Oh.
I see.
Yeah. Do you want us to take the hood off and
Yeah, let's show it
just take
around.
the hood off and put it right in front?
Here, you should probably put this on.
I know, right? Well, I wanted to have the nitrous outlet hat on.
Oh, there we go.
There we are.
Here you go, John.
Hey, you wear it.
Oh, no, it's you, buddy. All right, here. Fine. How's that?
Yeah. You're the king.
Pack of 3.
I think you ordered it last time. Right? Yeah, 9 o'clock. It's so special.
Amazon's awesome.
Yeah, buddy. Do you want us to?
You can even get our products off of Amazon.
Really?
Shameless plug there.
And the nitrous outlet stuff is on that side.
Oh, perfect. All right, so Nathan Wheeler.
Yes, sir.
Joshua Cole, come on over here, buddy.
What's up, guys?
So y'all just went to Florida
That's right.
and,
Let's put the truck in the background.
oh, okay. Sorry.
That's the reason why it's here.
You get to hold this.
All right. Fine.
Special.
So y'all went to Florida.
Which one do we
It's
want?
already on. You're good.
No, which one do we want?
You got to change it every 3 seconds.
Okay.
You got to count it out in your head. So y'all went to Florida and raced Cletus's all-wheel drive versus rear-wheel drive.
That's right. That's right.
And you made all the rear-wheel drive guys over the whole internet cry for like weeks.
They're still
They're still
They're still crying?
Yeah.
They weren't expecting that, huh?
No,
No.
they weren't. Especially from a diesel.
Yeah, you just like in a Honda wing. You just like
Pikes Peak wing.
no, that's
It's right.
We're gonna see one on Orange Juice.
it needs one of those fart mufflers.
We need. What do you call the spoilers on the front bumper on the Pikes Peak cars?
Shit splitters.
Yeah, that's next.
Is it?
I think so.
Yeah. And
Probably not like a huge one, but I want a small
what's
one.
that help do? Divert the wind around
Exactly.
it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Keep it from going underneath and just getting caught up with all the open.
You need all the air direction you can get with this thing.
Yeah.
So
It's a box.
Literally.
so what did you win?
Well, so we won $20,000. It was so.
It started as 20,000.
It was 20,000, and I bought in. I think it was $2,000 into the $16,000 side bet.
Okay.
So I won $2,000 from that,
Yeah.
which was almost enough to make up how much I lost when I threw the money. But
Oh, did some of it fly off?
yeah, 3,900.
Well,
Really?
normal people when they celebrate, they're wee, Nathan, no, woo, as far as he could. And then right as a 30-mile-an-hour wind gust came, and I've got a glorious picture of all the money just floating over Cleater's.
It really did. I just threw it way too high.
I wonder how many
got too
people have
excited.
found $100 bills floating around there since the
I
event.
mean, there's 40 of them floating around. So.
Either that or some people got some gas money, which is okay. I'm happy to help out, I guess.
That's a celebration right there.
It was spur of the moment, and I truly didn't think I was going to lose any money, which is kind of odd.
Just trying to hit the
So next time if we win or when we win, and maybe in October, I'll just throw it. I won't throw it over the toter. Just
You got to stand on top of the
What-
and then throw it next time. Yeah.
What if you just didn't throw it?
no, because now it's
What
a
if you
tradition.
did like everybody else where you're like,
So actually, I didn't start that. So this if you've followed this event, the previous winners did the same thing.
Okay.
And I believe Randy Seals was the first one to do it.
yeah,
So I'm not the one that started it.
okay.
And then I didn't even think of it. I'm sitting there enjoying myself. My kids are there. Josh is there. We're enjoying ourselves. Josh is probably still yelling and hooping and hollering. And
Pretty much.
Manuel and Randy both at the same time, you better throw that money.
Really?
You better throw that money.
tradition.
Yes.
You gotta keep going.
And then, and you'll see in one part of the video, he changes his mind. It's like, no, don't do it. Don't throw the money.
Then I
And
started
Josh
talking.
starts just like, what in the world?
We can too, but we can't.
So I just got caught up in all of it. I said, no, we're throwing. And then Cletus, he jumped in and was like, throw the money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you kind of had to.
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah,
I
you had to.
Different is the motherfucker.
Yeah.
Had to.
So next time you just need to have somebody with a net.
There
As
you
you throw
go.
it.
Absolutely. Cletus in the video, he took off running with George. Said, we got to go collect $100 bills. Took off running. It was great.
Behind that throw came from Thor's hammer on the butt hurt bar on the back of the truck.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, lifting.
I
that
was
thing
still
off the lawn,
charged.
He's getting,
still
you know,
charged.
Yeah.
That's
That
kind
was
of funny.
fun.
So, and what's funny about the whole butt hurt bars, didn't Beater Bomb start that?
Yes.
And
He's the
y'all
first
raced
one.
against him over in that.
No,
right?
I mean, maybe in the.
I mean, you may
50
not have
years
raced
ago,
him
somebody
directly,
said.
but I'm saying he was part of the small tire.
He was the
That's
captain.
Yeah. He,
Well, I actually called him out first round.
oh, really?
So I called him out because the strategy is for our fastest guys to call out their fastest guys.
Okay.
And obviously, Beater Bomb's one of them. He
Uh-huh.
won a couple rounds too. And Ryan Mitchell was another one. Team Denver was another really. Oh, they were all killers. I mean, every
Yeah.
single one. They're the best at what they do. So I called Beater Bomb out. He said no, and then Manuel.
He said no.
Yeah, he said no.
Oh.
Which was very interesting because they were all beforehand. It was like, it's a stupid deal.
He wanted to get some laps. Is what he wanted to do.
He wanted to. Well, I even told
And you
him, I'm
didn't
like,
want him
I'm a
to.
slow diesel truck. I go all over the place. And I tried to
Right.
convince him that I wasn't going straight anymore. So, but he didn't buy into it. He said no. And then Manuel called out Ryan Mitchell. And Ryan Mitchell said, no, draw him from the bag. So I didn't even get a call out.
Really?
And then I happened to pull from the bag and pulled Ryan Mitchell. Anyway.
Oh, wow.
So that was neat.
So, yeah, that is a. Hold on. Hey, will you answer this for me? See if you can help her.
Work never stops.
Yes. That happens to be my daughter. So, let's back up a minute. Let's talk about this truck. Because you built it, first event totaled it, rebuilt it.
That's right.
I hate to bring up a sore subject.
No, it's a big part of the life of the truck.
Right. So give us the rundown. Where did this truck start from the beginning? Tell us how this truck has evolved to what it is today.
Okay, to keep it short, the truck started as my work truck. I pulled a 16-foot not gooseneck. It was enclosed trailer full of tools.
Yeah.
Did that for, I don't know, a year, 2 years, something like that with the truck. I even pulled a gooseneck, flatbed gooseneck with the truck with a 16-gallon fuel cell bolted to the bed right behind the tailgate and 2 nitrous outlet bottles on either side of it.
Nice. I like that.
So
You
that
want me
was,
right there.
that was in, I want to say 2016, something like that.
That's before I even met you.
Yeah.
We would pull up to races and you would have slicks in the bed of the truck and we would swap tires.
Yep. Right
and
there.
then race and then swap tires back
And
out.
I would take zip ties because, when I'm daily driving it, I can't have the buttons on the steering wheel and all the wires hanging off of
Right.
it for the 2 nitrous kits. And I had no relays on this thing. I wired it all myself. It was just straight button to solenoid. I mean, it was great. And it worked. It worked. I mean,
It worked very well.
We sprayed the crap out of that thing. I mean, I probably made 1,200 horsepower for 3 years with that thing. Just spraying it, running it all the time. But that was, I mean, I would have.
And that was your work truck.
That was my work truck. I'd have 20 sheets of plywood hanging out because if I left the tailgate up, it would clear the nitrous bottles and the fuel cell. So I would hang it out, the plywood out over, or the 2x4s over the top of the tailgate. And I would go down 35 or to the job or whatever and race people with plywood hanging out.
And so for people watching this, they may not know this, but you do custom woodwork.
Yes.
Beautiful work.
Right. I'm not a
high-end
fabricator or anything like that. I'm a carpenter. Yes.
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 And so, but that skill still has to kind of come over some.
Absolutely. I mean, I grew up tinkering with small engines. So understanding the basics of how an engine works,
right?
Just apply it to everything else. But I'm no master of it, but I am tuning it now. You know, the on-site, I didn't set it up. I didn't set up the tuning, but
You've learned how to adjust the time.
Right.
Do y'all do timing?
No. So timing is something that it's V-based tuning, so volumetric efficiency or whatever. I don't understand it all, but it's essentially the timing is based off of the other aspects. It adjusts automatically based off of you know how much air you're pulling in and the RPMs you're at.
Ron Milliken was trying to explain that to me the other day whenever I was asking him, y'all have like a nitrous to fuel ratio? And he's like, what are you talking about? This is a guessing game.
Yeah.
You know,
No, well, we'll get to that, the tuning part, but as far as like leaning it out and everything, it's wild. It really is. But essentially it went from that truck to, okay, I need to be more serious. So it stopped being a work truck and I did a back half.
Okay.
And just did a back half. So what you see there now, it was the back half that we did essentially. And then that was still a 6.4. So that was a 6.4 power stroke. That wasn't a Cummins.
Okay.
And then I said, you know what? We cracked the block finally in the 6.4. We went 5 seconds to 593. And only 2 other people had done that with a power stroke with a 4x4. So it was cool. Time to get rid of it and go to something better. So I went to a 5.9. It's a sleeve down 5.9. Doesn't make as much horsepower as this does, but it made a ton of horsepower. I can make 1,600 horsepower with it easy. And I put that in it with just the back half. And then I brought it back to them at some point, a year after that or something, 2 years, and lost my mind. Just went full retard, full complete retard, and said, Nate, tooth the whole thing out. I want the coolest version that you can give me of a 4x4 diesel. And as light as you can too, but you know, we do a lot of different style racing, so we didn't want to make it too light to where it's flimsy,
right?
You know, so it's double frame.
You got to worry about the torque twisting it.
Yeah, that too. So we wanted, and it's a solid chassis. It's still 3950-ish without me in it.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of that is the stock block. Cummins is 1,200 pounds.
Oh wow.
1,250 pounds
for just the block.
Just the block and the turbo. So that package, the turbo and the block, we weighed it.
Has it got rotating parts inside of it, or no? Just the block.
No, I mean that's the whole thing.
That's a dress block.
That's a dress block. That's a dress block. I believe it was without fluids though. So it was without fluids because it was out of and we weighed it.
Okay.
But it was like 1,250, 1,280 pounds.
Yeah.
Something like
that. That's a chunk.
It's huge and it's all out here on the front. So,
right.
And that's one of the reasons why, you know, like we put the intercooler in the inside. It was set up to do no prep, slick stuff. You wanted that weight bias.
Right.
A little bit better.
All right. So what timeline on that build? Where were you at?
So at that point, we dropped this motor in it, which is a D&J Precision deck plate motor. And we put a Rossler Turbo 400 in it, and big SCS transfer case. And I took that build out second week after. We tested once, I believe, and then the second one I went to a top end Little River, which was probably not the best decision.
That would have been 2022, end of 2022.
Has it been that long already?
Yeah. So I was at my daughter's birthday party, and he went with his son and a couple guys, and I'm getting all these texts, drunk, laying in bed at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, have you checked on Nathan? I'm like, I'm trying to get up and throw my pants on, drive an hour. And my wife's like, you've been drinking whiskey for 5 hours. You're not driving anywhere. And then to find out what had happened, it was like crap. But yeah, that was about 2022.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So I showed up there intending to tune myself for the first time. and for whatever reason, I couldn't get the computer hooked up. The block that I was hooking the Ethernet cable into wasn't working, something. And I had Zach bring me a cable, and then I called the wife. I said, it's still not working. E1's fixing to come up, and I got to go. Well, and we had left it on too hot of a tune. Once I got there, I was like, this is too hot. We'd run it, I think it was like a 530 tune-up or something, but it was just too hot, especially in the beginning. So I wanted to turn it down a little bit. Well, I couldn't get the tuning to hook up. So I show up for E1, and it went down. It spun, but it went, and it made a great pass, and I won, and I was excited. So I was waiting for the wife to come with another Ethernet box, and I figured that was what was going to do it. But before she got there, E2 came around, eliminations, round 2. So I go up there, and I'm against the guy that I didn't want to lose, so I had a hard time pulling my foot off the pedal. But I went up again, and it kind of pulled me. This was before I had the chassis figured out. It was a week after it was built. And I went towards the guardrail. This is the top end, so it's super dirty right there. So it picked all that stuff, junk up on these 2 tires. The tires look like they do right now. And I corrected it without lifting and pulled it back on the track. But I didn't have lockup in yet, so things weren't really punching those tires very hard. That's why I was able to correct it. When lockup hit, it was near the 2 to 3 shift. It just put too much torque to all the tires, too much power, spun this side of the truck out because they were dirty.
Right.
That side stuck.
That's why.
And it torque steered me. It literally yanked the steering wheel and just went. And then you can't react. It was 0.9 of a second on the log from when it started spinning to when I hit the rail. And I let go at like 3 or half a second after it started spinning. So I was out of the pedal before the rail.
Yep.
Probably not quick enough.
And that was a bad wreck.
It was a really bad wreck.
Like
Didn't you hit a telephone pole too?
It was 7.5 sideways G's. So I came in sideways like that.
Oh, wow.
Which I did the math, and I think it was like 1,250 PSI at 7.5 G's.
Did you get hurt?
Yeah, I got a concussion. And I didn't realize that at the time, loaded up the truck on a flatbed, got it back to my house, and about an hour and a half after the wreck, I started puking and stuff. So I was like, all right, I got a concussion, need to go to the hospital. So I went to the hospital. They said it was a level 2.
Well, considering I seen the wreck, considering how bad the truck was, I thought the truck was done.
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah, and so that was and it was a pristine, brand new, top line build. It was a beautiful truck.
Yeah.
So I seen that, and my heart hurt for you because I thought,
and it wasn't as bad as it looked, you know. And it was a testament to how strong this chassis was built. We had to do a front half. We had to cut the front off. But the inside the cab, all the bars in there, everything, they weren't barely even touched. I mean, there was a couple scrapes on it.
Wow.
And the back half was completely straight. So the bulk of everything from the firewall back was fine, except for the 4-link and the wishbones down below, and it ruined the axles. Okay. So I lost the axles, I lost the front end, I lost the cab, which wasn't a big deal.
Which was still a steel cab, because there's been some rumors floating around that that's a fiberglass cab, and it's not. That's a factory cab that we just cut.
Do they make fiberglass cabs for these?
Yeah, they do.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't want to, because after the wreck, that cab, you know, it nosedived. It hit the guardrail, it came up, bounced off, broke a telephone pole in half, but it flipped me over, and then I nosedived back onto the track, and then sideways, and it bounced me back on my tires and skinned the top of the motor off. And when I dove into the ground, it hit the top of the cab right there and smashed it all down. But since these Ford cabs are so tough, it saved my roll cage on the inside. So I said, we're not going to a fiberglass. We're going back to a steel. So,
it did its job.
Yeah.
I was pushing for the fiberglass just because of the weight aspect. But
yeah, because
as much weight as we cut out of the factory cab, it's not a huge difference anyways.
You might need the same mod that I need to do to the S10, and that's put a skid plate on the roof.
There you go.
Yeah. So they rebuilt it.
They rebuilt it. So we rebuilt it, which is essentially a full rebuild. I mean, you're cutting the front off, and it's a rebuild. And you got to repaint the chassis, which I had it powder coated. So I was like, no, we're not repowder coating it. Just paint what you did. So now it's half powder coat and half paint. But we'll eventually pull it back apart, probably redip it, and make it look all nice when I recover financially.
My chassis guy gets mad at me for powder coating and everything because it just adds weight.
Yeah, it does.
And then when you've got to modify it, add a bar, or do something, or patch it, Now you got to paint it. He's like, quit powder
That's the
coating everything.
downside, but there's such a big upside with how tough it is.
How nice it stays.
Yeah, it stays so nice for so long. So
With the no prep and the rocks flying on the streets and the roads and the tracks, like there's not rock chips on the back of that frame.
That's good.
Like there's a lot of rubber we can't get off, but
Right. Now, how many races since the rebuild have y'all raced?
a bunch. We race a lot,
Yeah.
I mean, last year we were at probably 10, 12 races.
at
Minimum.
least. I think if you count the street stuff and the
Track
top side stuff, it's probably more than that.
Yeah, about 15.
And-
Anywhere from 12 to 15 a year, probably.
And I have over 60 runs on my truck since January.
Wow. What is what out of all the events you've done and your winnings, what's your most proudest moment?
Absolutely, the Cletus event.
The
by
Cletus
far.
event?
It made up for everything. I've lost a lot with this truck. I've lost and lost and lost and lost. Never won a cash days, come close, but just lost and lost. Every time I'd go somewhere and go, I think I have this. There's that little bit badder dude there
Right.
that would always do something and win. And I feel like we've gotten that monkey off of our back
The stars finally aligned and it came together.
because I've never understood the truck as well as I do now. Never understood the tuning even close to what I do now. I've got a huge upside because I'm still way down here.
Yeah.
So it just, I mean, we were doing 520s. This truck can do 430s, literally. I mean, I could do that. Now, I'm probably going to blow a motor trying to do it, but
Right.
it'll do it. It's got the power. It's got the chassis.
So you need to come run the Clash of the Titans with us. 450-ish.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready yet, is the thing. Because this year I'm trying to focus on the slower stuff,
Yeah.
and I've got it set up completely for that.
It sucks to swing
Let
things
me see
around
what
and
it.
never
Let me
get
see
it
what
there.
it does this weekend.
Yeah.
Because I'm.
Where are you going this
with
weekend?
The gut.
Okay.
The small tire gangsters.
Well, that's not a sticky track.
I mean, it's pretty, it's
for
pretty
this
sticky.
for this
For
truck
this
it
it
is.
is? Yeah.
It's
Pretty
pretty. This truck, I bet you, is going to go well into the fours at the gut.
Oh, wow.
Like I would not be surprised if it easily do a 470 at the
Okay.
gut. So nobody heard that right.
So right before you went to Cletus, the shootout, you switched to the Gustav nozzle. And I'm curious because I haven't asked
Two
you.
of them.
Did it make a big difference? Like,
I gained 6-7 mile per hour.
really?
Yeah, I mean, I did a couple of up arrows in testing before the event with fuel,
Yeah.
but I was able to add that fuel because I have more nitrous.
Right. Because
And
it
I
increased
need
the flow.
two more,
Yeah.
and I want the big ones, the big goose dogs.
Yeah. Man, those things are insane.
And
aren't
it just
they?
needs more. I mean, I could probably run 700, 800 milligrams of fuel, the capacity through this thing, and I'm at 350 right now.
Okay.
And I'm kind of tapping out on nitrous. Not really, because I can up the jet size on some of my
Right.
the 1, 2s, and 3s, but yeah, we got 5 kits on it, and we use every single one of them on every run.
Well, let's go over the truck. Show us the truck.
do
I
it.
know everybody's dying to see it. We got any comments? Let me look.
Josh, your turn.
See if you got any questions. Anybody got any questions for Josh or Nathan?
Oh, Colt Carter. He says spit on it.
Colt's coming by here tomorrow.
Colt's good people.
He needs to hurry up and finish his truck.
Yeah.
Dude, that truck's insane too.
Yeah.
It is.
It's very violent off the line.
Well, he's reworking it. Have you seen it? He's
Is he?
redoing it. Yeah,
Oh,
he's
yeah.
going full crazy with it.
Well,
Yeah.
he got inspired by the Crazyhorse,
Yeah.
as most of them do.
You know, another cool mention here is Hugh Hyder down at TSD. He's building a crazy truck. I mean,
Really?
It's I think it's probably going to be the best version that we've seen of a 4x4. Hopefully, we'll see. I'm not going to give any secrets, but it's going to be
What's the name
cool.
again?
I can't tell you that.
Chris.
It's Chris Buwider is the guy's name.
He owns a Truck Source
I
Diesel.
better
in
not
San
tell
Okay.
you the name of the truck yet. 'cause
Okay,
he
yeah,
hasn't
let him
let
bust
go.
that out,
But it's
right?
going to be cool. It's going to be cool.
Cool. All right, let's go over it. Come on over in here.
With the nitrous kits.
Oh, here you got to hold this so people can hear you.
Okay, so with the nitrous kits, we've got this one here. You can see it's number 1. That's a smaller kit. That's for spooling, but I also use it down track. And then I've got 4 Pro Mod kits, but these are your 2 179s, I believe, or 178s.
Standard trash can solenoid.
Standard trash can solenoids, and I've got that feeding a inner spooler, and so this helped me out here. The inner spooler helps.
It basically
Atomized.
saturates the air intake charge because it's got 6 nitrous discharges
Gotcha.
on each stage that you have there. So you got 12 discharges in there.
And then I have the other two up here, which are your large Gustav kits. Am I saying that right? Gustav? Gustav? So
You know, it was named off the Gustav gun.
right, exactly.
Yeah, German gun.
Yes. And these are feeding to, these are pretty much quarter-inch nozzles is what you would call
Man,
them.
they're 250 thousandths ID.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're
So just insane. Huge. And those are feeding in here and then a little bit below the exhaust.
That Gustav kit alone will flow 1,000 horsepower.
Wow.
One solenoid,
Just
one nozzle.
And this is what's crazy about the diesels is in the tuning, we can spray more than your 1,000 cubic inch deal and just keep going.
It's just a big air pump. Huh?
It's all is you cannot lean it out too much. It just doesn't care. You know, at idle we're at 10 lambda, and I think that's just because that's as max the computer. I think it's even more than that, which is equivalent to 147 to 1 AFR.
Oh wow!
So that's what this thing idles at. No nitrous.
I'm so lost when we talk about this area, and every time I learn
but it's
something.
the opposite. But you don't just have to have it ridiculously lean. You can do what the sled pullers do, who aren't allowed to have nitrous. Well, how you keep it cool then and make big horsepower is you flood it with a bunch. So you can be super rich or super lean. You just don't want to be in that.
At what point does being too rich or too lean hurt it? It won't.
Oh, absolutely. So it's a middle ground. So like 1.0 lambda, 14 to 1, something like that is going to burn everything up, essentially. Now, that's at a certain horsepower level.
So you're still tuning by wideband.
Yeah.
How do you know what the lambda is on it?
Absolutely. Well,
it's got a wideband just like anything else.
Absolutely. Okay. So SNS, this is all their firmware and Rife sensors and things like that. I'm not exactly sure. This is a little bit above my knowledge deal exactly how everything reads, but yes, absolutely. It has a O2 sensor. It has a AFR sensor, not map sensor. It has all that stuff.
EGTs also or no?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have. You can see right here. I've got them in each cylinder, and then the other ones are underneath. And they're the EGT sensors. I've got them on all 6 cylinders. So I can read all 6 cylinders individually.
Okay. So this is a Cummins motor,
right? From
what you said,
right?
Is that stock crank or aftermarket crank?
It's stock.
How does that work?
That's a stock crank, stock block, sleeved and deck plated. So if you look closely, right here, you can see there's a 1-inch deck plate. That's a billet steel, I believe, just chunk of steel, and they add it to the top of the block, and they add in, if I think I'm saying this right, they add in 1-inch longer rods to make up that difference. And you're able to retain the full 6/7 bore without having to sleeve it down for strength. You can actually machine it out because from what I understand, all the pressure, all the cylinder pressure is all right here. In that first 1-inch. So they sleeve it inside of that. So they're able to bore that block out, put a high ductile sleeve in there, and then it can handle. I mean, this particular motor, not mine, but this exact motor, did 36 something on a chassis dyno.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So on a chassis dyno, it
was it a loaded dyno or?
Yeah, it's a full. It's the one that all the diesel guys say. It's the one that goes to UCC.
Okay.
And I don't think it has the record anymore. I don't know, but it's very close. But at the time, it was the world record for a medium duty diesel.
And there's been a few pop off well over 3,000 horsepower.
And you're saying horsepower, what's the torque on that? That's got to be insane.
The torque's got to be higher than that, but with a single turbo, it's all about how you spray it too.
Right.
So and the guys because they combine the torque number and the horsepower number when they compete at that UCC event, they're trying to get a bunch of torque. So they kind of bog it down as low as they think they can and then hit it with a ton of nitrous. And I mean a ton all at once and try to get that torque number really. So you can make a ton of torque, but we try to tune it out for the drag racing because it's too much. We have too much torque. So we're trying, the single turbo helps with that.
What size turbo is that?
88.
88. What brand is it?
This is a Garrett.
Okay.
It's a GT55.
Okay.
And I have 2 actually. This one I use for no prep.
Okay. I have a confession.
It's more tunable.
When people are like, I got a GT 460 or whatever it is, I have no clue what the size is.
I don't either.
I'm trying to learn.
I don't either unless I have it. then I know what it is. Oh, you got a GT55? I do too.
But no, for the track, he puts a Hearts 94 on there,
Okay.
and that thing's just a monster.
It's crazy monster.
So why change the turbos?
Well, tunability. So
Okay.
a smaller the turbo, it's easy. You know, like I can leave it 2,800 RPMs in this and keep the wheel speed way down for slick surfaces, and then kind of roll into it. Whereas the bigger turbo, I've got to have like 3,300 or 3,400 RPMs just to get that thing up on the chip and get it to go. That's too much. Once I let that go, the tires just want to.
So why is this turbo on here now? That
For
is
no
Cletus's?
Yes.
Oh, so you go to this one for no prep, and whenever you want to get on some sticky surface, you go to the
surface,
smaller
that's-
turbo.
No, the bigger turbo.
Like
go to
the
the
Clash
bigger.
of Titans, we
Which is
probably
Hearts.
want to run that.
Right.
My buddy Roger's over there, so Roger Conley.
It's essentially the bigger the turbo for a diesel, the quicker it comes on.
Okay.
So that's the other problem. So you've got this natural ramp because we don't control these things with, you know, like on your gasser, you're gonna control. Tell me if I'm wrong here, but you're gonna control the boost with a gate or something like
Right.
that, right? You're gonna control that, and that's how you control your power. These things go all the way on, and we gate
It's just there. Huh?
We gate it just to keep it from exploding itself. So we go, okay, it's rated at 80,000 RPMs. Start pulling fuel at about 115. You know.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And this thing will blow up at about 125 to 130,000 RPM.
Yeah.
And I start pulling fuel at about 115,000 RPMs.
And that's what calms it down?
Yes. Now it's only rated to 80,000 RPMs, but we've tested it. Ryan Milliken has tested, I should say.
He's well
Oh, yeah.
tested.
This is his recommended turbo. Actually, he's like, put this thing on, it'll make 3,000 horsepower.
And
Okay.
that thing's been on there since we first went to the Cummins
You can't break
4
these
or 5
things.
years ago. So that
Oh, wow.
turbo's got 200-300 passes on it probably at this point.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it just eats.
You
Spraying
don't have
4
to
or 5
replace the
pounds in a
bearings
pass.
or anything like that, huh?
I've had this thing sat in my storage unit for like 2 years at one point.
Bolted it right back
We should
on.
probably knock on some wood if you're running that this weekend.
Yeah.
Hit that
You know what? I'll bring my bigger one in case I blow it up.
So who did all the plumbing on this?
I'm glad you asked. So this is all fabricated, wired, and plumbed by Nathaniel Aku. I hope I said his last name right. At Truck Source Diesel.
He's talented.
That's
He's
an
talented.
understatement.
That
Look at
is
his
beautiful
welds.
work.
Look at how absolutely perfect these things are. And every single weld, it doesn't matter where they are. He doesn't get sloppy because you can't see it.
Right?
And you will not find a spot where he missed. You won't find that.
That's, for me, because we plumb direct ports,
Yeah.
I can spot a line that's just a little off by just looking at it.
Right.
Like you would walking into a house and you
Right.
go, this wall has a bow in it.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Oh, and he will too. He does it at my house.
I bet. So yeah, I always look at the hard lining on this, and the bigger the hard lining is harder than the smaller the hard lining.
He did tell me it was a pitta or whatever you say it.
Yeah, he did a fantastic
He said it was a
job.
pain, but
But you
he
got
liked
all their nice flow supply tools for him to do all
Yes.
this.
So I gave him a little gift. I
Tool
got him
cells.
some flaring tools, and
Do you like them?
yeah, I think so.
Good.
He used them all.
Yeah, he still uses them now.
Always like that raw answer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe. No. All right, so let's walk over the rest of the truck here.
So the nitrous outlet bottles we got in here. Let's open this up. You can see the setup, and
Yep.
he plumbed this so all of the y'all actually made the soft lines for us because we'd given you the measurements for that, but he plumbed everything.
And I like how we use, so I use this, we did yours first, and then whenever I plumbed my car recently,
Yeah.
that's just a PTFE nylon covered hose and with the crimped ends on it, and that's what I used on my nitrous too. It's so much cleaner.
And it looks great. It's just clean and tight, and I haven't had any issues with any. I mean, everything here is flow supply. Every single fitting I have on this truck, with the exception of maybe one that we couldn't find or something, but
Now, wherever you plumbed it, what do you think about the
Every
quality of the flow
single-
supply?
haven't had a single issue.
No leaks, no nothing,
leaks,
huh?
nothing. Have we had any issues at all? We screwed these up. So we busted these because
Oh,
this
you
thing
have to
right
have the
here.
Allen head all the way in.
Yes, yeah.
So
we did,
thin to
yeah.
get that ID.
We
But that
did
was
a
our
few
fault.
times, actually. Yeah, we
I
have
have to.
extras in the trailer
Yeah.
just because,
It's actually
you get in a hurry
Common.
and you're trying to refill before next round. Like, for instance, at Cletus's event, they were like, you're going to have 30 minutes from the last pass till we call y'all back up for the next round. And he was like one of the later passes in that round where we're coming back to the pit. He was like, hey, be up here at this time. And I'm like, dude, that's 18 minutes, 17 minutes. You said you were giving me 30. Like, I started throwing my fit over it. And then Cletus was like, dude, you got your 30. I'm like, okay, thanks, man. And like, by that time, it was the heat of the day. We're moving and grooving and trying to do what we can. But at the same time, he got a little in his head that pass and was trying to speed through the burnout, and it was locking the converter up. So,
that was the
really hot.
semifinals.
Yeah, it was really hot that round. So we were like, dude, we're taking our 30 minutes. I don't care what you have to say. Like, you told us in driver's meeting, we'll be back up there in 30 minutes. And it worked.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So I want you to get all the laser etching in that dash, because that is
Here,
like,
let me turn on the light in there.
that is
And
clean.
he did all that. Nathan did
You
all
did
that.
all that engraving?
Yes, I did all the carbon fiber, the fiberglass, and the Lexan. That's not the light. There's the light.
There you
I
go.
don't know if that does much.
Give everybody a good view of
You can
what's
see
going on.
I
in
got
here.
Nitrous Outlet over here and all the other great companies that help me. S&S Diesel, Hot Shot Secret with all the oils, D&J Precision with the engine.
A lot of detail.
Yeah.
A lot of attention to detail.
It was really nice.
Looks really
When you
good.
got somebody that builds the level of houses that this man builds, they expect
He
nothing
showed me
less
some of
of
the work.
perfection
It's
on
amazing.
Well, and you don't have to even say that. You don't have to. This is Nate. This is what he does. He's not going to build anything less than this.
Yeah.
He's just going to look at you and go, "That's what it is. You told me to do it. That's what it costs. That's what it is. I'm going to take my time. It's going to be right." And that's actually how I do my stuff. So I understand that.
Right.
I'm like, oh,
You get
yes,
it.
I
You
got
get
the
it.
right guy. you
I'm
know?
the same way. I am the same way.
So,
It's
And
worth
my
it.
wife always goes, why do you not ask how much first?
I've
And I'm
got
like,
flow
'Cause
supply.
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Lid on. So we had a problem. We had one of those cheap plastic lids that have the little flip top.
Oh,
And it
yeah.
kept
Like
coming
it's on the
open
other
on me
side.
and
Really?
throwing water all over my
Oh,
tire.
that could be bad.
Yeah, it was bad. So I got one of your screw-in lids and I love it.
And it don't come loose, huh?
No, you
No.
can't mess that up.
Sometimes it's hard to get undone.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
It fits so well, but it's worth it.
And then I'm curious, what are you using for a vent? Oh, this is just a catch tank.
No, well,
What is this?
It's the coolant tank it's the holding tank for the
Air to water.
air to water.
Okay.
So it's got a pump on the bottom of here.
Yeah.
And it's at I think it's 6 PSI. I've got the Motec set to kick that pump on. So that way it doesn't start cooling it down too much while you're trying to spool and cause the motor to pop and stuff. You don't want it too cool. But this is the safest way to set it up. You don't have to have air to water. You can go to air, and then you can get real dangerous and you can go to nothing and just do water injection.
Mm-hmm.
But if you aren't dead on there, it seems you got to be like dead on with your tune. There's no forgiveness, or it melts
It's
a
done,
piston.
huh?
Yeah.
Well, and if we need to, we can just throw ice in here, run the pump, and cool things down.
Yeah.
A lot
That works
quicker,
good.
you know. So
I know it's quick releases right there too. Is that for like a
Transcooler.
chili willy or something?
Yeah,
Oh,
that
transcooler?
exactly.
Okay.
So that's going to be your transmission hookup for coolant. The only thing I don't have, I just found my sunglasses. The only thing I don't have a fan or a radiator on is the transmission. So
Okay.
the engine is full water. It's got water in the head. It's got water in the block, and you can see the radiator right here. So I could drive that across the country if I wanted to.
Really?
Literally, I could hook a trailer to this thing.
So you could like sign up for True Street.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it would.
Yeah.
It absolutely would. It totally would, because it's a full. That deck plate does it for it. So you can have the water jackets there and everything, because the deck plate is what's handling all the
So
power.
you just need to add a little bit bigger fuel cell and be ready to roll, huh?
Definitely a little bit bigger. Which I think eventually, when I get like, okay, I've done a lot of different drag racing, I think I'm gonna go do that with this truck eventually. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Dragon
So
Ride.
We do everything with the truck. I mean, you're gonna see me on a radial track at some point with this
I
thing.
mean, he sled
That'll be
pulled
cool.
with this at
I-
one point.
I
At
sled
the call out
pulled.
challenge.
Straight up sled pulled with
And
it.
it was hilarious to watch because I was about midway down track and it was his first time sled pulling. And I just I'm trying to video, but I looked in the cab and he's just
so much
all over
fun.
the place.
I got out and said,
Cheese
now I
sauce.
know why people do this. That was a blast.
It was fun,
Oh, it
huh?
was a ton of fun. It's I don't know. It's longer than a drag race.
Yeah.
So you're in there just roaring, screaming.
You're not going very fast though. But
No, you're not
yeah.
going very fast.
A
But
lot of
now
RPMs.
that's the challenge that Colt won, right?
Yes.
Colt Carter.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right.
So
He came in
It's like-
second,
He was in, like, top
it's like the
10.
Olympics, huh? You got
Yeah.
some tractor pulling,
Yeah.
and you got
like a
drag
drag
triathlon.
racing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a
That's
dyno
what I work.
competition. So each
Triathlon.
day they perform one event, and then they point up at the end.
Right. So you got dyno and drag race and sled pull,
That's cool.
which is not what this truck is set up for.
No.
So you'd have to be able to swing setting the trucks up.
Right. Well, the thing is I don't feel like that's really my event.
Right.
Now, it's my event in the sense if I'm a diesel guy, I'm going to go to the ODSS side of things there because they do that too, just the regular drag racing. And I do that every year. But the sled pulling and the UCC, I think that should and does cater more to the shop owner.
Okay.
Because you're advertising for your shop. Look at, I can build all these different, and it totally makes sense.
It does.
So I don't really think that, so I don't think I'll actually do that again.
Okay.
I'll go to ODSS and do all of that stuff, but I don't think I'm going to be doing UCC.
No, not this
I mean,
year.
we did that one in 2018. I couldn't afford it for first of all.
We
It's
had a
very
blast, but
expensive
it was-
because you have to have 3 trucks essentially in one.
right.
You have to have the whole sled pulling set up. You have to have the drag racing set up, and then you have to have your.
That
dyno
sounds like
set
a
up.
lot of work too.
Oh, it was.
Oh my
It
goodness,
bought
so
a
much
whole
work.
dually rear end that we had to swap out, and then it didn't even work because it was from a cabin chassis truck.
Let's not go down there.
And that really cuts down on the beer drinking time, don't it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's straight up. We brought thousands of pounds of stuff up there just for none of it to even work.
We showed up with a non-running truck,
Yeah. The truck wouldn't start.
all because they had turned off the MAF sensor in the tune, but it still wanted the MAF sensor. So we stayed up till like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Trying to figure it
And
out.
one guy, Sam Gable, rest in peace, he walks over. He's like, "Hey, let's try this. Spool it."
He's like try to start it, and he stuck it in the intake of the turbo. Just stuck it right there in front of the blades, and the thing started right up.
Oh,
we were
wow.
all like, "Oh, you gotta be kidding!"
So the coach said that race is a headache.
He's not wrong.
Brent Morgan says he wants a relationship as strong as your turbo.
Yeah, I mean, that's few and far between. He needs to go find a good Christian woman.
There you go. All right, so let's keep moving through here. We got to work our way to the ricer wing here.
All right, so I've got fittings from y'all all over the place. Look at them over there, the 180s,
Yep.
and those have been on there. Never had a single leak. You can see them over here on the radiator. I mean, they're everywhere. We have probably 50 fittings on this thing.
Love it. You're
Or
definitely
more.
putting it to test.
Gotta put your fuel supply sticker right here.
You know, that's
You have to make a gold one.
he's the one that makes these. Josh does a great job
Perfect.
with that.
Yeah.
So as long as you are good with me color matching it, I will
Oh,
stick it on
absolutely.
there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I've already started on all my green stickers for when we get my truck back out here in a couple months. So I'll have to replace everything.
How close are you on it?
We're probably about 2-3 weeks away on the motor being done, maybe. And
It'll be this summer,
yeah,
hopefully.
they'll need the truck for a month.
Yeah.
Just bolt it all back together.
It'll be
The
ready.
wing,
Hold on. Look at this
Oh,
drive
hold on.
shaft. What's that? 6 inches?
I think so. It's at least 5.5. No, that looks like 6 inches. to
Maybe
me.
5.5. Either which way, that thing's huge.
That's what she said.
Look at the girth on that thing.
Yeah,
It's a good wings.
it's got Mosier 9-inch axles front and rear,
Okay.
and that's really not for strength. It's for weight. The stock axles can handle whatever you throw at them.
Oh, because it's 4-wheel drive. It's not all going through too.
It's just the Ford, big, huge, 10.5-inch.
How many spline is it?
So I don't know. I think it's these are 35s, I believe.
Okay. Wow.
So they're big.
I'm surprised it can take that.
Yeah.
I really am. All right. So explain to me why the wing.
So the wing comes from Manuel Gomez from Midnight Performance. He's the one
See
that
on
started
Gringo.
that.
Randy
And
Silver.
you know, they come up with crazy ideas and they try them. And he put this on Gringo,
Mhm.
and I believe that was the first one he put it on. I may be wrong about that, but he put it on and he gained a lot, like tenths,
Because of the downforce.
because of the downforce. Because you're able to remove static weight. Because all of the no prep guys, and me included, I've got provisions for it. All of you look closely. I've got tabs everywhere to hold weight bars, lead weight bars. And I had 405 pounds of lead, mostly on the back. Well, essentially all of it on the back of this. But you've got to get that stuff going. Now you've got a 4,500 pound truck instead of 3,900 or whatever. So what this does, it doesn't help you on the start, but it helps you down track. I believe this particular wing is 400 pounds of downforce.
600 pounds of downforce at 138 miles an hour.
Yeah, like almost 140 miles an hour. You're a very, very, very large man is sitting on the back of your truck.
Wow.
600 pounds. That's large. That's two large men.
So I was teasing you about this, but I could give you some insight. Years ago, whenever I had the speed shop, it was a domestic shop, and a buddy of mine, I bought his import shop and moved it all in the same building, and we sold so many wings, body kits, and mufflers. And of course, those cars weren't fast; they didn't need it. It was just for looks.
Right.
So that reminds me of that time era.
Yeah.
Every time I see these wings.
Fast and Furious era.
Yeah,
Well,
actually, that was probably the most profitable stuff we sold in that shop.
I can believe it.
Because like a muffler, we'd pay $50 for it and sell it for $300.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've got
it's
You know, like-
you've got a couple of extruded aluminum pieces here that you get. They're not cheap, you know that.
Yep.
But you've got to weld some tabs on, cut it to length, to your customer's length, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
Like, it's great. I love it. I love it for them. I'm trying to be an ambassador for them.
But it has a serious function here.
A very, very
there's a benefit.
effective. You know, if you look at your drive shaft curve, you'll be losing the tire a little bit on the 2 to 3 shift, you know, at 120 or whatever it is on a slick surface. You'll see a spike or whatever. You put this wing on it, it goes away. And yeah, you're going to have some drag, but it's far outweighs the static weight you're able to pull off the truck.
That's crazy.
And that's
So-
where he just out horsepowers everybody at that point where it matters.
And I can put more horsepower down because of that.
That's cool. Now, so like we talked about Ron Mitchell earlier. He's the one with like a 87 Trans Am. He's the one that caught air
Oh, yeah.
and tore the car up.
And it was because of the wing.
And it was just the one. But you don't really have to worry about that with this because it's so heavy in the
Because
front,
it's
right?
so heavy on the front.
Yeah, so you just go after
we're
it.
at 6.
I'd love to see this thing take flight. Not really. Dude, that would be
Well, he kind of did it at Little River.
It's just not, it's not feasible. I mean, you got the big axle up front, you got another drive shaft, and then you got the big motor. And the motor's only like 6 or 8 inches back from stock location, so it's not like way back
Right.
or anything like that. But it's very functional, very, very functional. And, you know, Cletus had a video. He put one on his truck. You know, this is a very, very hot item right now. I'm sure Johnny
wing?
over there at the wing at 9 Lives, he is.
Is that, yeah, give him a shout out.
Yeah, 9 Lives Racing.
Okay.
Johnny
9 Lives
over there at I cannot pronounce his last name, so I'm not going to try.
So he's custom building the wings for that per application.
You give him the measurement of your truck. So you tell him from outside of, fender to outside of fender, how wide is it? And you tell him the height from I think it's from the frame rail where it's going to be mounted to the top of your cab. So it's like 2 measurements.
Right.
And then a 3, because you got to give him, your measurements in between here for your
So
chest.
obviously he's trying to catch the wind coming off
That's
the cab.
right. So you want it at or just a smidge above the top of your cab is what I learned. And then you want it just a little bit further back from your tailgate area or your trunk area.
And you
Okay.
want it a little tilted because
That's
during
what's grabbing.
pass, when you're squatting, it should be level.
Right. So
Okay.
about 5 degrees is a good starting point.
Yeah.
But I saw some of those F-150 guys that had that thing. So it just depends.
Obviously,
on
the
you,
more pitch, the more downforce, right?
but it's more drag.
Oh, okay.
So there's a happy medium. You got to find that point where it's working really well for me. I don't need any more drag.
Gotcha. Now, how far out does your butt hurt bars?
6.5 feet.
6.5
6.5 feet from the.
And that takes the weight from here to out there, which is doing the
Correct.
same thing.
So that is all for the initial launch.
Okay.
So that is leverage, obviously. So I was able to pull 405 pounds off the truck and extend 95 pounds out 6.5 feet. And so I replaced 405 pounds with 95 pounds. That's
So
what
for
I
the
did.
people that are listening to this, it's like holding weight here versus out here.
Exactly.
You know,
It's a
just,
lot harder. It
it's a
puts
lot.
all that torque on you and wants to pull you over. It's doing the same thing here. This is the fulcrum essentially right here, and it's really trying to pick the front end up.
right.
And so by doing that, you're able to lose hundreds of pounds potentially, depending on your setup and what you had on there. For me, it was 300 pounds, 310 pounds that I was able to lose of static weight trying to drag that and get it going. And so you're able to, it really works. It's just simple. I mean, you can
Well, it obviously
It's
works.
very intuitive. It's very easy to understand how it works, and it works.
You know, we see some of the stuff come out, and to me, it looks ridiculous, but it has a serious function.
Yeah.
And if it puts you in the winner circle, who cares?
Right.
Right? So,
Right. And the whole thing about no prep and backside and street is you're going to see some different stuff.
Yes.
But that's one of the big appeals of it.
right.
They want to see a stupid boxy truck like this, you know, blowing weird black smoke on spool up next to a car that's banging off the chips, has a blower sticking out the hood, and they're sitting there going, "What is fixing to happen?" You know,
Yes.
they have no idea. So it's cool. No prep is fun. It's a lot of fun.
There's a lot of challenge to it. And like you're saying, there's a lot of mix because the rules
Huge
are pretty
mix.
wide open.
It's tire size. That's
The
it.
only thing I'm against, I'd like to see a little bit more tech. You know, you get a truck like this, and I'm not even going to guesstimate how much money you have in it, but I know it's a lot. And then you get somebody that just threw something together right beside you.
Yeah.
He may total your truck. You know what I mean?
That is a
That's
huge
the
concern.
only downside right now that I'm turned off about. So I'd like to see a little bit more tech, which would ensure their safety and yours in the other lane. That would be it.
And a lot of that is because of the outlaw nature of all of it.
Right.
So you're gonna have Joe Blow show up with whatever, you know, and he might beat you too. You gotta watch that.
That's where it started.
Old dude with the $18,000 Mustang right there can beat your
Carburetor Craig.
yeah, exactly.
It's easier to make a Mustang fast, which is why everybody's got a Fonts Body Mustang. They're light, combo works.
That's why people are so interested in this.
Absolutely. You pull up with this and
It's different.
there's not 20 of these in the staging lane.
But it's not just a truck, it's a diesel too. So it's got an added uniqueness to it that I've always recognized. And I always hope that other people recognize. And it seems like that is the case. It's happening where people are very interested because of the uniqueness of it. And I like that. Everybody wants to be unique. You want to have something that's cool. And yes, I put way too much money into it for as slow as it is. If I put the same money in, I probably could be doing no preps Kings. But you know what I mean? But it's cool. And it's my truck. And I hooked the gooseneck up to this thing at one point. No, there's nothing left
I just looked for a gooseneck hitch. You pointed out.
Like, what? There's literally
I had to
nothing
keep
left.
that. I mean, technically, you could have left it there for the weight.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that would have been funny.
Oh, good stuff. So,
well, it's definitely a hot rod, and you're definitely kicking ass with it.
talking about safety, I've got a full fire suppression system on this too. And it's all hard lined, so it can't get damaged easily.
What size bottle?
10 pounds.
Okay.
10 pounds. I've got it right underneath the side underneath here. Got a handle for fire suppression, and I want to get some heat activated sensors.
I have. It's like I have one. I got it from Jason Digby,
Okay.
and I can't remember the name of the company right now. Sorry. Anyways, up in my dash, it's got a glass bulb, just like like what you've been, and it's a block of aluminum, and it's designed so that if let's say you get knocked out, and the truck's on fire,
that's exactly it.
it sets it off.
Yeah.
And it also has a manual pull also. So
that's what I want. I want a redundant system because, like my parachute, I've got 3 avenues. It can throw on a timer on the Motec, which I don't have set up right now. So I really only have two deals, but it's still a redundant system. I've got a button on the steering wheel, and then I can also manually reach up and pull the deal. So if the button doesn't work, nitrous went out or whatever, then I can just manually do it. I love the redundancy thing.
And obviously, you got dual launchers.
Right. Dual launchers, dual parachutes. And the dual parachutes.
It probably takes some to stop this thing.
It is. So that's a requirement. So for the weight of the truck, those are the largest parachutes that Stroud has. And I called up to replace one of them because I'd ripped it at a racetrack coming around the corner. And which I'm surprised that doesn't happen more often, to tell you the truth. But I called them up, and the lady on the phone was like, "Is this for a semi?" I started laughing. She was like, "I never hear of anybody buying the largest ones and 2 of them," because I told her that I had 2. But that was interesting. So it's
whenever they come out, can you literally fill it? Jerk the truck.
Oh yeah, yes, you definitely. A funny story. For the first year, maybe even longer than that, I was folding up my parachutes inside the carrier bag that goes inside there with the carrier bag reverse, inside out. So that bag has the little small chute that first goes out and then pulls your chute open really quickly. Since I had it backwards, it wasn't working like it was supposed to. And I always wondered, I'd be way into the shutdown and then you'd feel them kick in after I was already slowing down. And then I looked up a Stroud video like 2 years afterwards, and I was like, "You gotta be kidding me! I've been doing it wrong the whole time."
It's funny you say that though, because I learned something this last weekend or 2 weekends ago at Jacob Harper's race, and so somebody jumped in to help Kai Kelly, and they packed his parachutes for him, but they didn't really pack it. They rolled it, the whole parachute up, and stuck it in, which is why he wrecked top in the track. So whenever you hit the button for the parachutes to deploy, it was just a wadded up ball on both of them. But there were several racers, and we're all standing there talking. And several of those racers said that they purposely load their chutes backwards because of, I can't remember why, but something to do with the deployment of it. So they purposely do what you were doing. And I'm just sitting there.
It was delaying it for me. Maybe not for them because they've got more speed. But for me, it was delaying it too much. And when I did it the correct way, what Stroud says you're supposed to do,
it's more instant.
Oh, man. I throw the chutes, and I feel them almost instantly. So, big difference.
And those are powered by your Nitrous style system, too.
Yes. Yeah, it's all. So, I've got Nitrous. I didn't want a CO2 system because that's just another bottle I got to fill and stuff. So, everything's operating off of, I've got Mac solenoids in here, Mac valves. I've got my wastegate on a Mac valve.
You know, it's crazy how many boosted guys I tell, hey, we can just get rid of that CO2 bottle. And they're like, what? I'm like, yeah, we can run the whole thing off of Nitrous. So
and it's lighter too, because then you're just operating off of
just
one
cut
system.
Down one thing. So
absolutely.
And it makes a big difference.
It does.
So
it does.
Well, Nathan, Josh, it's been great.
It has.
Let's go get some barbecue.
Let's get some barbecue.
Yeah, I know he said he had to do something.
I got about.
He's always got to go somewhere.
The hard shut off. This judge loves me, and if I'm late for this 40 yard, he's gonna bring me a new one. So
all right.
I gotta be in Round Rock pretty far.
Barbecue sounds good.
Yeah.
Rudy's.
No, that's good too. But Terry Black's.
Oh, that's better.
Have you had it?
No, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Aaron, you want to join us? Too bad. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. All right. So.
Well, I appreciate you having us.
Yeah. So for everybody that tuned in, right, we do this every Wednesday at 11. We had no glitches today. Good job, Aaron. So sometimes whenever we're like transition, which is why we didn't start upstairs and then come down.
Yeah.
We'll lose certain things.
Yeah.
And it'll glitch, and we've been working our way through that. Every time we get better and better. This is our 9th episode, and it was glitch free. So yeah.
I'm sitting there leaving the meeting, and that's the first thing going on in my truck.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Ah, sweet.
We drive a lot, so we watch all that stuff.
So anyway, every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Central, tune in for the WAZZUP show.
Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and tell your mom about it.
Tell your mom about it.
We know y'all are already subscribed to these guys, but go check out Crazyhorse Racing on YouTube and Fabrication, and then we've got the Instagram and Facebook page as well. So if y'all want to keep up with the
Is it all
build, where we're
Crazyhorse?
racing at,
Yeah, Team Crazyhorse on Instagram.
Yep. And on Facebook.
Yeah, and on Facebook.
It's on the way, on the right side.
There it is.
Oh, right here.
There it is. Yeah.
And then, do you have any shout outs you want to do before we cut it?
Yeah, let's do a shout out to Truck Source Diesel. They fabricate, they can put everything together for you, tuning support. Shout out to S&S Diesel Motorsports. They're the entire fueling system on this. They are also tuning support. They're the ones that did the firmware for the Motec. D&J Precision for the motor and all the awesome services they do and help out the racing community. And then last but not even, well, you know what? It's not last but least. Hot Shot Secret. Hot Shot Secret, they are they're the reason the diesel drag racing is anything right now. They really are. And now they've stepped into the sled pulling world. They are helping out so much with events and everything. So I really want to give them a shout out. And it's not a fluke. These guys make the best stuff. It's not cheap, but it is the best fluids. You're talking transmission fluid, diesel additives, cetane boosters, adrenaline race oil, and then all your regular stuff that you need.
They got it all, huh?
Oh, they got it all. Everything from your...
Okay.
I literally put some of their fuel treatment in my Harley yesterday to go right. So, I mean, you got RVs, you got race cars,
They spell the slide lube for your slide outs on your RVs. They're a group of chemists, essentially, and they're really, really, really good at it. But they've catered to the performance world, and especially the diesel performance world, too. They've done both and really honed in what we needed for the high horsepower diesels. But they started in the gas world and came over to us. So those are great people. And then last but not least, Nitrous Outlet. Nitrous Outlet has been a great sport. I grew up in Waco.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I grew up.
Wait, yes, I did.
Yeah,
yes, I did.
Homestead Heritage.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Waco, and so I knew about y'all. I would drive by here and ooh, Nitrous Outlet. That's cool. I wish I had a button one day. So I've always used y'all's stuff. I've had y'all's bottles always. Now we've gotten some other solenoids. I apologize about that. I don't know where those came from.
That was.
I think TSD put them.
Yeah.
So I forgive me for that. That was a long time ago. But no, it's all Nitrous Outlet, and we wanted that. We came to you. We said, hey, we like y'all. What I noticed, I'm not naming any other names, but the difference in how y'all carry yourself to other nitrous companies, specifically, there's a class there, and that I like it, and I want to be around those kind of people. I think that's cool.
We appreciate that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. And honestly, we talk about that
hear
in our meetings here,
Yeah.
because sometimes, we're competitive.
Right.
We're car guys,
Of course.
right?
Of course.
And sometimes we have to remind ourselves to be nice.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like people
that
hear me
shirt.
say it all the time, but sometimes it's us telling ourselves.
Yeah.
And
I was being grumpy with my wife the other day, and she pointed at my shirt. I had your Be Nice shirt on. She's like, "You have a Be Nice shirt on." I was like, "Oh yeah, sorry."
That's perfect. Now I have to know. I've been wearing this whole time. What does this represent?
So
I forgot to ask.
Kings of No Prep.
Okay.
So essentially, that race was you take all your 32 football teams in the NFL, and you pick your best players, and you stack 2 teams. That's what that race was, and we came out on top. So.
Hell yeah. So
I'm talking about.
That was good.
Time for some barbecue.
Yeah, let's go eat some barbecue. So tune in next week with What's Up, right?
What's up?
At Nitrous Outlet. Perfect.
Don't tell Josh to do that. Here you go.
Good job, guys.
Yes, sir. These are Josh's.
They're kind of cool.